Berapa tahun kerja dah?
Saya dah almost 3 tahun.
Okey, lama juga tu. So, terima kasih kepada
Ha.
apa tu Puan Zahirah Puan kecil.
Cik,
Okey,
doktor.
okey terima kasih. Terima maaf. Okey, bersama dengan Cik Zahirah. Sebenarnya ni adalah jemputan kepada pelajar-pelajar kita tahun 1 lah. Pelajar tahun 1 yang second semester lah. Jadi mereka mengambil subjek apa ni Digital Landscape. Jadi subjek ni subjek yang baru. Dulu masa zaman beberapa tahun dulu kita tidak dikenalkan subjek AutoCAD lah. Jadi subjek tu apa tu saya tak pastilah saya mengajar daerah masa buat sketching ke mungkin saya ke atau ada orang lain buat ajar design communication. Design communication siapa yang ajar masa tu? Ingat tak?
Uh, Doktor Hisyam. Doktor.
Saya ajar ya?
Ya.
Okey, masa itu masa itu design communication kita banyak manual lah. Then adjust little bit on the AutoCAD. But so mungkin sebelum we move further, mungkin some students already here, but they are coming lah. We are coming means maybe they're trying to access now. Common lah apa tu in this situation ni, alhamdulillah. But now we continue our academic activities through online lah. So but so far based on our keliling tu from UTM until December. Jadi it's now all studios, classes conducted through online lah. Through online. Jadi alhamdulillah
Oh,
uh,
assessment untuk kelas macam mana dia buat? Online
dia
juga?
orang online. Jadi tugas all student assignment through online, then communication presentation, and student need to send video or they share the board and everything through online lah. So it's almost I think not so much different, but I think crit maybe different lah because normally crit session kita directly kan, kita can easily comment dan sebagainya. Cuma but for my students, I'm using notepad lah ataupun iPad. So online I can easily also commented on that sharing screen. So at the same time we can explain through verbal lah. But I think now quite common lah after
Okay, hello doktor.
office and
Saya
maybe
terputus.
almost 2 months tak apa. So with us, maybe I would like to introduce first. Now we have we supposed to have 27 students. So we have some students from Indonesia and one student from China. So this class actually is we're trying to expose and coaching student on AutoCAD and Sketchup lah. That's the two main software that at least fundamentally students maybe can use it in their design later on. But at the same time, of course, Photoshop and some additional software like Lumion. And hello students, are you there?
Yes,
All students?
yes, Cik Din pula. Yes, Dr. Hisyam.
Okay. Okay, so we have so far 11. Hopefully we can receive more. But there are some students have some difficulties in terms of access internet, data, because this is a bit challenges lah to our academic activities, and some also stay in the remote areas, and some students now, most of our students went back to their hometown, and like I said to you, we have 3 students from Indonesia. They also went back to Jakarta, Aceh, and I forgot that one of the place, but so far up to now classes still I think okay, so they still can access it, and we don't have much problem in terms of communication, but sometimes of course kadang-kadang ada yang hilang data dan sebagainya, lost connection, that one is quite common lah. Okay. So maybe now it's already 4:07. Maybe I would like to invite Cik Zahira to share and to thank you very much lah for your commitment to share your experience and to at least give some suggestion to our students, the importance of digital landscape. Digital landscape, I think I'm also, the meaning of the digital landscape is, for me, is big, is huge. It's not just drawing tool, but also there are a lot of things, including videos, including there are some other software, graphic dan sebagainya. But I think this class we are focusing on that particular software, and maybe Sarah can share the importance of AutoCAD and some software that commonly are using in the industry. For students information, Sarah, one of our top students lah. I think she did well in the comprehensive, in the graphic exercise also. I think she's done well, and Alhamdulillah now she work outside almost 3 years, and we we believe that we don't have much uh, issues on how our graduate can work in the industry, not just in Malaysia but also in overseas. And just want to share to our student that Zaira also one of our student that was selected to Japan, our global outreach with me in 2016. So I think the chances and experience will I think give a lot of things lah to our student or maybe our graduate when they go and they work outside there. So with that, I think I would like to invite Zahira to for this sharing session, and I leave this session to you, but I'm also listening. Okay, thank you. Please.
Okay. Okay. Hi, hello semua. Assalamualaikum. My name is Zaheera. I graduated from UTM in 2017, and then I started working in a landscape firm in Gombak. And from there, I'm still working there. Uh, uh, but I'm going to show you some of the projects that I have been involved with and how I applied I'm going to focusing on AutoCAD and Photoshop and how I applied during my work. So I'll be sharing some 10. Okay, first, in AutoCAD and Photoshop, I will be showing you how I use this application in terms of design presentation and construction drawing. Number one. Number two is another project which I use both application as design presentation.
Yeah.
And then another one, the third project is for design proposal. It's not construction, just for it's like a preliminary proposal that you showed to your client of your design. And then the fourth one is conceptual proposal. It doesn't have detailed design, but it's just you make it a graphic proper presentation to show your conceptual landscape design. Okay, the first one is a gallery house, where we did a landscape design and construction drawing. Oh, so the first here is the construction drawing, and you see this is the sketches by my boss, and then based on based on the client's comment in during discussion and meeting. So in the meeting we sketch and discuss and we use the AutoCAD to fix the design, upgrade it, and as you can see here, it's quite detailed. So we did the amendment in the drawing, and if you see the design here, so the highlighted part is the trees and palm. So you can see as any basic construction drawing, you can see the grid line and the technical aspect, which is grid line and measurement. and section line. So that all is included, especially in the construction drawing. So on further improvement, this is the shrub, and grass. So in this drawing, you can see that in this particular project, we use mainly hatching to explain the different type of shrubs and plants that are used in the design. And then the next drawing is the hardscape that is used in design. So all this are this particular design is a one-story building, and the surrounding area is on ground level. So as you can see, we use not only the cat not only on the graphic but also on the description of the construction drawing, where we use the planting schedule. We describe the type of tree that we use. We put in scientific name, common name, trunk height, overall height. This is all this description that you see here, trunk height, overall height. We got it from the nursery. Yes. Um, according to the availability of the plant at the current time, and we use this measurement on trunk height and diameter based on the availability of plant at the nursery. So, so this is the plant schedule, and I have some planting schedule for shrubs. As I mentioned, all the hatchings that are used in the AutoCAD are described here based on the different species of the plant. And then this is the hardscape schedule. Use grasscrete in the design, concrete strip, different colors of concrete, ABF types, and timber deck. So all these are very important in communicating the material that are used in the design for the client to evaluate, and also for the contractor to build the design on site. So this drawing, this schedule and drawing should be accurate, because especially the quantity here you will use in the BQ, which is bill of quantity, that we will use to estimate the cost of the project. So this is the based on the CAD drawing, this is the drawing that we will produce as a construction drawing. Okay, as you can see here, the title block for the drawing. So you see the client, the contractor, or the landscape consultant firm, the drawing number, the drawing name, and then the key plan and location plan. All these are made using AutoCAD, and this is the product that you use to convey the drawings and the design in construction drawing to be built on site. But to the client, we take it from these drawings and we color it in Photoshop to make it to show it to the client. So as you can see, there are the effect is very different. For the AutoCAD, we convey more detail and information, but the Photoshop is more visually pleasing. It conveys different types of images. We can see the colors of the paving, we can see the colors of the material, the timber decking. So this one, based on the CAD drawing, we color it in Photoshop. So this drawing is mostly shown during presentation to the client to get approval. And then from from the AutoCAD, also we can transfer it to SketchUp. SketchUp is application, and we make it into 3D. So as you can see, this is the 3D view of the project. I have a few here, which is one, and another one, and another one here. So from one AutoCAD, you can have different products, SketchUp and also Photoshop. So I'm going to proceed to the second project, which is landscape design. So we start with sketching. This is the base plan here, which is in AutoCAD that we printed it and sketched it, is from the architect. They designed the building and they asked us to add our landscape design, and we sketch, and then we digitize it. So this project, we because it's not going to go to, it's not yet into the construction phase, it's more into the proposal phase. So we focus mainly on from AutoCAD to Photoshop because we want to convey our design ideas. This is not a construction drawing. So from AutoCAD, we directly digitize our design in Photoshop. See here, we add some pavilion, water features, grass, and hardscape design here, and walkways. So as you can see here on this image here, compared to this image here, still used in Photoshop, but we added trees and plant, and we added texture to the color instead of blank color of to indicate the thing in this first picture. And then this one, we added the grass texture. We overlaid with grass, real grass in the Photoshop, so it creates it's more presentable and more so that the client can um, imagine the real condition of the sites that we and the message that we want to convey. So
Sorry, Zahira.
yes, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
I just want to. Is it possible to show in the from? Is it you are using a phone or computer?
I'm using phones about
Are you using this one? Oh, I see.
sebab
Okay.
all this is um confidential, saya tak boleh tunjuk
Oh,
yang
okay. The resource lah. Okay, okay.
tak ada resource. Okay.
Okay.
So if you take your time to learn in Photoshop, you will get so this part is like average. It's like a very basic knowledge of Photoshop. So if as you upgrade yourself, as you learn more of Photoshop, you can get this type of presentation material that looks more real with texture. Okay. The next design proposal. Okay. This on the third project here that I'm going to show is a Riverside landscape design proposal. On this proposal is just the first phase of design where they give us a site and they want the idea of what can we do to improve this landscape at this certain area. So at here they gave us the AutoCAD design, the AutoCAD work here of the site with the lot and the road and the facilities that are provided there. So as you can see, if you and then we beautify it in Photoshop. So if you can see the difference between the first one, which is the AutoCAD that are colored, and the Photoshop after, which is the after of the purpose. So you can see very different. So the if you compare it next to each other, the message or the graphic that you show is very different. So this one will be more um, for laymen, for your client that don't understand drawing. So this is more they can understand this drawing in the career, and they can see what type of design that we want to implement in this area. So for this proposal, we make it the Photoshop design, and we use reference image to convey our idea for this site. Okay, and then we support our ideas with reference from others design. You can see here and here for the jetty and the for canoe work, and some of the image we actually Photoshop it to make it suitable for our design. And okay, and then and this is another project with the same idea, which is we make it from the AutoCAD, and then we design it in Photoshop, and we use and we showed the design intention of a design through reference study or case study from another project. Yeah. For example, this is the signage. We state the location that we propose in the design, and we put reference image of signage that we want to show to the client. So if you compare this project 3 and project number 2, that project number 1, we use the Photoshop in different way. First, on the first project, project, the Photoshop should be accurate based on the design that we want to build, and based on the construction design. Also on this, because it's a construction stage, so the 3D and the Photoshop drawing should be able to should be the same to the construction drawing. But on this project, the drawing that we showed is to show our ideas to so that the client would know our ideas, and we can proceed from here. Okay,
So
and then
graphic
yes.
with we use graphic with different type of purposes.
Yeah, we use the Photoshop is used on uh, every stage of of the design. First, this is the proposal, where the graphic is more on showing ideas, and then Photoshop is also used to show the ideas that will be constructed. Will give the accurate image after the design is built. So as we go on the same side, we might make different multiple Photoshop uh, of the same project. On the first page, it might be on the first stage it might be different, and then the last stage, because we improve as we go on. Okay, on the and then on the first 3 is the project that are already in process. So on the proposal, so this might be applicable to student where we use landscape conceptual proposal. So this is for on the first stage before if to get the project. So we use landscape conceptual proposal. So actually this design is on AutoCAD, and then we take it to Photoshop, and just to convey our conceptual design of the landscape, where we add trees and colors and the pavement pattern. And then on the same design, we use as to convey ideas, and we use reference image to show our intention of the design. So as you can see here, this from here, this particular area, we make it in SketchUp, and then we convert it in SketchUp, and then we add our ideas. So as you can see, these ideas, this is actually on the way you present your ideas. So this is the proposal, and you present it in this way. So, and this is also a proposal, and you present it in this way, in a slide. So you can experiment it and see what you like, whether this type of presentation or this type of presentation to use in your board. So do anyone have any questions?
Guys, is any question from you guys up to now? Any question?
The
If not, maybe Zaheera will continue it. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, please continue.
Oh, I finished my presentation. Afterwards, I
Okay.
just want to converse with the student in case they ask any question. Oh, for your
Okay.
information, all the AutoCAD and Photoshop and any other application that I use are mostly self-taught. We in class we have because at my time we don't actually use digital landscape. We are not exposed to digital landscape as you guys are currently having. So all of these are mostly self-taught, and we learn a lot from each other in class, in studio actually. Um, so so if you're worried about not learning, but don't worry, there are so many tutorial about all these um, apps, Photoshop, InDesign, SketchUp,
Yeah.
Lumion. You can
Tutorial, yeah.
yeah, you can easily access the how to do it. Just and it's not hard. You just have to continue do it. Tak susah,
Yeah.
just kena buat je. Kalau saya punya suggestion, um, tapi kalau suggestion saya, kalau susah, you just sketch, scan, and then digitize. Sebab AutoCAD dia punya flexible is we can sketch and then kita boleh masukkan image tu dalam AutoCAD ni, kita boleh trace balik. So saya sendiri personally I will sketch and then I will digitize it because some people are not well versed in design using computer. They sketch using hand, but they have to do the end product using Photoshop or CAD. So they sketch first, they scan it, and then they digitize it. As that in this first here. Yeah, we sketch first, we scan, and then we digitize.
Okay.
Question?
Yeah, I think any question from you guys? I think we are lucky to get Zaheera with us this afternoon because it's not easy to get our professional. Certain time, right? At a certain time, but Alhamdulillah, we managed to get Zaheera for sharing this session. I think it's a great sharing session about the importance of function of digital landscape and how we should, I think, diversify our skill with some software that we can manage our drawing later on better. So I think if I'm not mistaken, Zania mentioned about the function of AutoCAD and how we uh, uh, step from AutoCAD to Photoshop for the some different technique of graphic, as well as using SketchUp in building the dimensional drawings. I think it should become like a package, yeah, to produce a great work, and at the same time is what I can say here is more like effective communication between the designer and the audience, or maybe our clients. So is there any question from you guys? I think maybe because now Zaheera already worked for 3 years, so I think maybe you can ask anything that related with this landscape architecture field.
Yeah, anything not about the you can ask also anything about other than the
Yeah, I think we have a question. If we look chat column from Sunjin, Sunjin. So reference image is mean that we can use the image which is similar to our design from other design and put in our own design project.
yes, you can use it as 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 the first step to convey your idea to your client or your lecturer. So is that your intention? Okay, at the end of the project, this is what I want. I want to design something similar to this. So for the client, yes, we do. For the first stage of the proposal,
For the first stage, yeah.
yeah, for the first stage of the proposal, we use our reference image. So I want to do. This is what we want to do. You will get something like this product, etc., etc. So because at the first stage we would be doing 3D or design it, we just use the intention.
Yeah.
So as you go on, you refine and then you use your based on the reference image, you design your own. So at that time barulah buat Photoshop untuk design sendiri or 3D design sendiri.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question? This is a good chance to ask our professional. Please take this opportunity. It's not easy to get our landscape architect in. Any other question, guys?
Okay, how about the future in this field? Future macam mana tu?
Landscape architect. I think, is it? Are you asking about the landscape architect or the digital landscape? I think more to this profession, I think.
More to the profession. Okay. Okay, I'm currently working in A&Z Landscape where we use mostly research to produce design. We also have physical project like the one I just showed you, but it's not but we also have our research part. So I'm the I would say research for development concept. Macam saya buat guidelines for future landscape. So ada my friends yang memang buat physical project, and ada juga my friends yang buat yang lebih kepada grafik, ada yang my friend yang lebih kepada project manager. So as you go on in this course, you will find your own interest. And my friend who have more talent in management, they go to project management. And I personally into research, and I went into research. So my friend who is keen on doing physical project, going to site, meeting with the client, they do that. So you can it's not a single, it's not one. Bukan satu je. So macam banyak. So in graphic design, you in the future. So as you work, okay, for now I would suggest kalau you in graphic design, you should learn AutoCAD. Not be excellent, but just have understanding on AutoCAD, because most of my friends use AutoCAD. Every firm they went, AutoCAD is used or something similar to AutoCAD. Tapi yang if you understand AutoCAD, you can use that. So and then after you have AutoCAD, and then you can go to Photoshop or 3D Max or SketchUp. But as you go into your company, as you work, your company will have their own software that they are using, because not every company use the same software. So if you go there, don't worry, you will learn there. They will teach you because it's their software. It's like their type of software that are used in the company, and they will teach you. So for now, I would suggest, if the first thing that you want to learn in the software would be AutoCAD, and then Photoshop as you go, and then you learn as you need. Macam kalau dah masuk third year, you want to do 3D, okay, you can learn 3D. And then dah masuk fourth year or third year, and you want to do video, you can learn to use video. So macam we grow as we go berdasarkan keperluan. So macam company saya banyak guna software AutoCAD, software Photoshop, and then bila saya dah masuk company, saya belajar software baru which is InDesign. InDesign tu dia macam Photoshop tapi dia lebih pada publishing, which is untuk buku, research. Dia macam antara Photoshop dengan PowerPoint, InDesign. And then I learn Map Info, which is macam GIS tapi nama software dia Map Info. So just you continue learning as you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Yes, please continue.
Okay, so bila belajar, as you learn more software, you have more skills. For example, when I work, I started, when you do research or design, you need to convey your message. So I now learn graphic design through the software InDesign. So as you go, you will need to use more and you will learn that. But I would suggest the most basic should be AutoCAD, because every firm that I know of use AutoCAD.
Okay, we have another question there.
Okay. Do you have any tips how to search for a company to do our internship and things that we need to prepare? Okay. I would suggest first use the ILAM list of company. And then actually when you call them for internship, you can ask them their projects and ask them their scope of work. I would suggest company yang banyak buat physical, because masa intern belajar physical is banyak you belajar masa buat drawing, construction drawing yang akan guna waktu third year dengan final year untuk project final year, which is, so waktu intern tu cari company yang banyak buat project physical, yang mainly project physical. So kalau nak cari this type of company, you go to their website. First cari list yang dikeluarkan oleh ILAM, macam company yang disenaraikan dalam ILAM lah, Institute of Landscape Architect. And then dari situ tengok, carilah dia punya website, and then tengok dia punya project. Kalau project-project cantik and you like it, and then okay lah. So I would suggest and then ada yang lain tu you can ask your seniors lah. Kalau my personally, I intern at Digitize Landscape. Yeah, it's a good company untuk intern because they teach you, and then banyak project physical yang you involve. So yeah, cari company yang banyak buat physical project. Okay, ada questions lagi? Hello, can anyone hear me? Tak dengar.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, masih tak dengar. Okay, next question. How you've been coping in this field for the past 3 years? Um, first year tu quite overwhelming sebab macam kita rasa macam banyak benda kita tak tahu. We're macam and then as you go, you will learn more, and then dia macam kena berani mencuba. So and after, and then the company wants you to do your best, so they will provide you with resource lah. So dia akan ajar you macam mana nak buat. Kalau you tak tahu, tanya je. Kalau tak ada certain software yang tak tahu, dia akan bagi software, dia akan ajarkan software tu. Sebab the company wants you to do your best, so they will help you do your best. So how I've been coping is that I take it slow and I do my best. Macam tu je. So kalau ada problem, and then you just tanya your boss or your kawan-kawan sekerja. Any questions lagi? Kalau you guys takut untuk macam nak masuk bekerja nanti, actually tak perlu sangat lah, sebab bila masuk company tu dia akan bagi resource kat you. Semua you have to do your best waktu interview lah. Waktu interview tu you tunjuk project-project you, depends on company, you tunjuk your 3D, your project project-project waktu belajar, project-project waktu intern, yang ni apa yang you tahu, apa kekurangan you, and then apa kelebihan. Contohnya saya pandai buat AutoCAD, saya pandai buat Photoshop. Okay. Then tunjuklah waktu interview tu, and then dia tanya sama ada this, contohnya software lain yang dia tanya, can you do it, and then you should be honest, saya tak tahu this software saya tak pernah guna, tapi saya boleh belajar. So nanti bila dah start kerja tu, dia akan ajar for you lah kalau lepas interview. Tapi don't worry.
Any other question? Maybe from Indonesia? Our student from Indonesia? Apa ni daripada any other question, guys? RNT ada? Do we have RNT? RNT, are you here? RNT? Or Amira? They are in Indonesia now. So whether they can listen it or not. Any other question? So if not, what is your your last before we dismiss? What is your suggestion to I think to be better in the study after you know, what are the some tips you know, to share with our students for them to start build this field? Yeah. Can you hear?
Okay. Okay. First, saya fokus untuk software. As I suggested, you should. I would suggest learn AutoCAD, and then next Photoshop, and then anything else that you're interested in. Untuk study, benda yang saya belajar sepanjang studies is untuk tak melambatkan buat kerja. You should not delay your work. Kalau buat kerja awal, and then you should focus on 8 to 5 working hours, because bila belajar, you might macam ada tendency untuk kerja malam, kerja sampai lewat malam, kerja bangun lambat, buat kerja. But bila dah masuk kerja, it's not like that sebab we have to work dengan semua orang. So we have to bekerja waktu yang orang lain bekerja because we have to communicate dengan klien, dengan company-company lain, dengan so you have to biasakan benda daripada awal. And bila work kerja ni, dia tak ada melengah-lengah. So bila bos minta a certain assignment, so dia tak bagi deadline, atau dia bagi deadline, so kalau boleh janganlah bagi before deadline tu. So because banyak benda boleh datang and suddenly you're macam banyak kerja. So should be jangan delay kerja lah. Yes, saya pun student, saya dulu delay kerja, tapi bila dah masuk kerja tu macam okay, yang ni tak boleh buat dah. So I would suggest sekarang sebab you guys waktu baru start, so kalau boleh buat benda tu daripada sekarang. Train yourself untuk bekerja, tak melambat-lambatkan kerja dengan buat kerja kalau boleh 8 to 5. And then kalau you have to like what you do, jangan kerja sampai stress. And then macam kalau you have to find your comfortable spot yang mana bisa buat kerja. And then bila in my experience, bila macam stress tu maksudnya you don't know how to do, so you should learn. Baca, reading is a very macam sepanjang belajar tu, because kita punya source is everywhere, so we should learn to read. And macam banyak travel tu, I would suggest travel and tengok kawasan tempat-tempat yang luar and tengok macam mana landscape design dia dekat sana, or at least in dekat paling-paling pun kalau dekat KL sendiri or dekat Johor sendiri, you should observe surrounding, tengok okay, this is good design, okay, this is not good design. Okay, we have another question. Do you know if you wanted to try and work overseas, do you know any platform to do so? Kalau saya and my friends and orang yang second we actually just online.
Apply online,
apply online, and then you should go website, bukan macam job street Malaysia tu, just go to international job, and then you apply it. Macam apply waktu dalam hantar resume lah untuk application. Cuma you afterwards, tapi dalam your resume tu you have to mention lah, I'm currently living in Malaysia, apa benda, and etc. So bila apply tu, when they are interested in you, they will refer back to you, and you can ask your employer, macam mana tentang visa application untuk kerja kat negara dia. So dia akan advise you. Itu kalau yang my friends punya experience lah. Kalau Dr. Hisyam, macam mana?
Okay, I think there are some also our graduate working in overseas, right? For example, like Zaheera friends, some of them work in Singapore. So maybe after this, I would like to invite Nazir. Cik Nazir kita can share also his experience working in Singapore. But I think for me, there are many of our alumni working in overseas, especially in Singapore. I think there are some of, I think I'm not sure how many of them, but I think most of them. and not just a few years back, but I think since in the early of our program that we introduced, and some of them already established in Singapore. For example, I work with Colin International, and I know that there are two our alumni still there, and one of them, Mr. Halim, he's a design director, and one lady, forgot her name, actually now she's also working in Colin. I think there are some more. I was graduate working in overseas, not just Singapore. I'm not sure, maybe some, because last time we have a few numbers from China. Zaira, is there any your Chinese from China in your batch last time?
No, my batch tak ada.
Oh, okay. I think before that, I think we have quite a few numbers from China, but now they already went back and working with the industry. A bit lost contact with them. But I think the first to work in overseas, of course, that we must have certain competency in terms of your design knowledge and skill. Basically, to get a job, I think it's not just in overseas, but also say in Malaysia. They are much depending on how competent you are in terms of working with this field, this landscape architecture field. So of course, mostly as a designer or landscape architect, they are looking much on your ability on design elements. Yeah. So other than that, I think your personality, your communication, and yourself also important. But again, that your portfolio is very important. So normally you need to send your application letter together with your maybe your portfolio, your digital portfolio, example, your e-portfolio. You can have your maybe you can share your own website, or maybe they can easily browsing your Facebook page to see who you are, and maybe they also can see maybe they can see some of your work there and your activities. So there are a lot of things, also elements in terms of getting a job, not just in Malaysia but also in overseas. Of course, that email is free, so you can easily email to certain particular companies, and normally you send you looking for a job or maybe for internship, and you attach with your application letter, your resume, of course important, your resume. Then maybe you can attach some of your work during your school time. So I think that's will part of the things that can how you can convince the company whether they is there any opportunities for you to work with them. Okay, is there any more question? So I think now it's already almost 5. So I told Zahira that is uh,
Sekarang saya kerja A&Z Landscape.
this part also A&Z Landscape. I'm not sure if you can share A&Z Landscaping. Do you have maybe you want to share the company profile a bit? I'm not
Nanti
sure
saya
in the
boleh share dengan
website
Dr. Hisyam.
A&Z, right? I tried to find it,
Ya.
but
A&Z ni is actually
Zahira
a
for
group of
yeah.
company. Dia
Yeah.
dalam satu company A&Z yang sama, dia ada landscape design, planning, engineering, dengan planning. So main dia planning lah. So actually dalam satu company we have different department: planning, landscape, and engineering. So it's a big company. Dia tak
What is A&Z stand for?
dia tak ada stands for anything. Dia just nama A&Z.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so dia ada landscape, engineering dengan planning. Saya dengan landscape, and then dia dalam satu company tu dalam 50 orang. Yeah, and then we project selain daripada physical project, we also have research project and project pembangunan, which is daripada government. And then we buat macam plan untuk landscape ataupun kajian tempatan, rancangan tempatan. Itu scope of work untuk company saya lah.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So thank you very much for sharing this session, Cik Zahira. So we wish you all the best for your career in future. I'm just sharing that some part of the that you share to the student just now. I think it's very good experience when you talk about this the importance of digital landscape and some also the design activities that need certain ability in conducting or managing landscape architecture drawing. And you mentioned certain of the graphic exercises, the visibility of the graphic exercises based on a certain function. So for example, AutoCAD they have certain function, and using Photoshop maybe what's the different purposes. Also SketchUp as well as the 3D. And also you mentioned certain when we do presentation, the organization of drawing also important, right? So I think this is really great. Hopefully our student can catch up a bit later on. And you also share that the importance of in terms of organizing the drawings, for example, the labeling, using some colors, as well
Yeah.
as yeah. So all these things important because it's part of we are still part of the design communication. Because whatever we do a drawing actually is part of the how we communicate with the client, and we need to make our client easily to understand what we want to do and what we going to design, what are the impact later on based from our design ideas. So I think with that, thank you very much again. We really appreciate your commitment in sharing this session to the students. Hopefully this is not the end session. Hopefully we can invite you again, Cik Zahira,
Yes.
for another session. Of course,
Okay.
after this, we try to also, because now we are keeping online learning. So I think this opportunity is great for us to also invite some of our alumni outside there, sharing session to our students. So maybe we believe that throughout the experience, student will learn a lot. Then at the same time, so that this will give more motivation to them in for their future academic life in UTM. So I think that's all for today's. And student, anything from you guys, or anything that you want to, maybe last opportunities for you to, if you have one question. If not, I think that's all for today's session. And I hope that we can meet you again, Xavier. So I have a continuous session with student after this, a bit on. So thank you very much, and hopefully selamat menunaikan ibadah puasa and iftar this evening. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for listening, everyone, and good luck.
Okay, thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye. So we have a session with students after this. Yeah.
Okay, selamat buka, Doktor.
Okay, terima kasih. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So are you still there, our students?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So how many attendants so far up to now?
Entah.
How many attendants? Participant?
60.
Sorry? So please let me take your attendance now. Let me share it first. Okay, Amila, you are here. Afika? Afika tak ada?
Tak ada.
Amira? No. Arianti?
Doctor.
Arianti, you are here? Okay, good. Celine? Celine Chiojai?
Yes,
Okay.
doctor.
Chiu Vicky? Chiu Vicky, are you here? Cho Junki?
Mhm.
Cho Junki? Sure. Go Sifang?
Yeah, doctor.
Good. Uh, Gosifah. Junki tak ada Junki. Aziz?
Aziz tengah on the way balik.
Oh, balik Sabah. Sarawak.
Sabah.
Oh, ya ke? Okay. Heng Jinji? JJ? Jinji tak ada? JJ?
Doktor.
Okay. Ho Yu Ching? Ho Jia? Ho Jia? Jasmine? Jasmine Edwin? Jasmine tak ada? Bingi? Bingi? Jin Bingi?
Yes, doctor.
How are you, Bingi? So, when are you going back to China?
26 May.
26 May. Okay, so we still have time for the submission of your AutoCAD, right? Okay, Ku Shengshu? Ku Shengshu? Are you here? No. Muhammad Syafiq? Muhammad Syafiq? Tak ada.
Ada.
Nisa Mala? Nisa ada? Saya tengok tak ada. Nisa not here. Nurul Aziani? Nur Aziani? Aziani ada? Aziani ada. Hairul Muzaffar ada. Okay, saya tengok you punya sini lah. You punya screen ni ada nama-nama ni. Nurul Izzah?
Ada.
Okay. Nurul Nadia? Nadia tak ada? Syafa? Syafa tak ada?
Ada, doktor.
Okay.
Ya, doktor.
Apa tu?
Ya, doktor.
Ya, saya dengar. Okay, Siti Noeda? Siti Noeda ada? Tak ada. So Hui Zhuang?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good. Ruji? So Ruji? Okay, ada.
Yes, doctor.
Thank
Yes,
you.
doctor.
Sun Su Jin?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Umar Mageswari? Umar Mageswari tak ada? Mr. Seri ada?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Never mind. I just take your attendance today. So maybe if some of you are here.
加二的后加二。
Ja'a dengan Syafiq ada.
Siapa tadi? Syafiq.
Dengan Ja'a.
Saya dah tanda dah. Muhammad Syafiq. Okay, Syafiq ada. Okay. So this one. Okay guys, Alhamdulillah. So we Alhamdulillah that we managed to hear from our great alumni, Zaheera. I still remember that during her time in UTM, I think she did well in terms of producing her job in the design field, and also using certain software. I think she also advised you to keep going and learning. There are many open tutorial for you to catch up your skill in digital drawing. But however, later I will show you a bit on from the AutoCAD to Photoshop a bit. Then I think SketchUp you just need to develop and you have to just move on and expand your knowledge. But however, we will talk and discuss it later next week. I think the session today I think is really great that you can here there are a lot of things important there, especially in learning about digital landscape, and what are also is required in the real practice as a landscape architect. So I think that's all for today's class. So I hope that you please continue your assignment. Remember that last time we talked about to complete the plan, the base plan, and the section. Then at the same time you can move on to the design stage using AutoCAD. So maybe you can transfer from your sketching or discussion in the studio with your studio master, so you can move on to the AutoCAD, or maybe you can edit or modify a bit in the AutoCAD file. So I think with that, that's all for today's class, guys. Is there any question or anything that you want to ask me? Is there any question or anything that you want to ask me?
No, Doctor.
Okay, so that's all for today. So thank you very much, and have a good evening to all of you, and stay safe at home. Thank you, and keep going your academic activities later. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you. Bye. Please take care, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.